Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Black-Liberation.Tech Podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Renee Jordan, and today we are going to pick up where we left off with the Ag STEM Career Discovery Lab with Janiyah GPT. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so last time we left off here where we were taking a look at visualizations of the different careers. We're going to move on down to step number 7. Verify, then trust. AI is a helpful tool, but it is not infallible. Strong AI users always verify information before acting on it. This step guides you in critically evaluating Janiyah GPT's responses. Verify with Janiyah. After receiving a career suggestion or any information, prompt Janiyah with these questions. What are the limitations or potential biases in the response you just gave me about insert careers or topic of information? What information should I verify using edu or .gov sources? Visit at least one official website, .edu or .gov, and compare the information provided by Janiyah GPT to confirm that it is accurate, current, and complete. All right, so what we're going to do, we're going to take these two prompts, we'll do them both at the same time, go back over here to Janiyah GPT. Hopefully I can get a response and it doesn't kick me out all the way. Let's take a look and see. So for the career that I'm going to paste inside, I'm going to continue with the Community Resilience Planner. So I will paste Community Resilience Planner here. I'm going to copy this entire prompt so I can save it to my Word document. It allows me to keep track of what I ask and what I receive. And let's hit the send button and see what we get, if we can get anything. So I'm going to first copy this output over so I can save it for later. Okay, so let's go to the beginning of this and see what she has to say. This is an excellent question. A key part of career exploration is learning to evaluate information critically, including information provided by AI, potential limitations and biases in my previous response. Number 1. The examples were not all community resilience planners. Most of the women I mentioned are leaders in fields that influence resilience planning rather than holding that exact job title, community resilience planner. For example, Dr. Beverly Wright is primarily an environmental justice researcher and advocate. Dr. Majora Carter is an urban revitalization strategist and entrepreneur. Karen Washington is a food justice advocate and urban farmer. So there are links to sources that will allow you to see where Janiyah pulled that information from. I included them because their work influences community resilience, but they represent adjacent fields rather than exact occupations. Number 2, the examples emphasize social and environmental justice. This reflects a real trend in resilience planning, but it can create a bias towards viewing the field primarily through an environmental justice lens. Community resilience planning also involves emergency management, infrastructure engineering, public health, agriculture, data science, cybersecurity, transportation planning, and water resource management. A more complete picture would include leaders from those areas as well. Number 3, the response focused heavily on U.S. examples. Community resilience is a global field. You could also learn from Indigenous leaders in disaster preparedness, African climate adaptation experts, Caribbean disaster recovery specialists, international food security researchers, humanitarian logistics professionals. A U.S. focused list may unintentionally overlook important global perspectives. Number 4, some accomplishments were summarized. The response simplified complex careers into a few paragraphs. For example, Dr. Wright's work spans environmental health research, workforce development, policy advocacy, community engagement, and climate resilience, not just disaster recovery. When researching a role, it is useful to read their full biography and organizational work. Number 5, selection bias. I chose individuals who are relatively visible and well documented. Many community resilience leaders work in local government, lead nonprofit organizations, coordinate disaster preparedness programs, and manage community food systems. Their contributions may be equally important, but less publicly recognized. All right. Information you should verify using .gov sources. Government sources are especially useful for understanding the actual profession. What community resilience planners do. Look for information from FEMA Careers and Emergency Management Resources, Climate Resilience Toolkit, U.S. Government, NOAA Climate Resilience Resources. Verify typical job duties, career paths, salary ranges, skills employers seek, and types of resilience planning projects. Food security and community resilience. Check USDA Food and Nutrition Information Center, USDA Climate Hubs. Verify how food security affects resilience, agricultural adaptation strategies, and community food systems. Emergency management and disaster recovery. Check ready.gov and FEMA National Preparedness Resources. Verify emergency planning frameworks, disaster mitigation strategies, and community preparedness programs. All right, information you should verify using .edu sources. Universities often provide deeper research and career information, resilience and climate adaptation. Look at programs from universities with resilience institutes such as Arizona State University, Resilience Research, University of Colorado Boulder, Natural Hazard Center. Verify current resilience research, emerging technologies, and climate adaptation methods. GIS and community planning. Many planners use GIS daily. Look at university GIS programs and tutorials to verify what GIS professionals actually do, required technical skills, and career opportunities. Environmental justice research. For Dr. Wright, specifically, verify through Deep South Center for Environmental Justice and university publications and research profiles. The organization's materials confirm that she founded the center in 1992 and focuses on environmental justice, community partnerships, climate impact, workforce development, and research. Questions a future community resilience planner should always ask. Whenever you research a leader or organization, ask, what problem were they trying to solve? Who benefited from their work? What evidence shows their approach worked? What criticisms or limitations exist? How is their work being used today? What skills did they need before to make an impact? Those questions will help you move beyond simply admiring role models and start thinking like a researcher, planner, and future leader yourself. Given your interest in AI literacy, another valuable question is, how could AI tools strengthen or unintentionally harm the communities this leader was trying to serve? That question sits right at the intersection of AI, community resilience, and social impact. And it is becoming increasingly important in the field. Okay, now let's head back to the Black-Liberation.Tech website, and there are some questions here to help you reflect. Reflect on your findings. Did Janiyah miss any important details? Was any information outdated or incomplete? Did the AI present multiple perspectives or just one? I'll let you think about those yourself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to push pause here and we'll come back next week and pick up where we left off. With all of that being said, thank you for listening to another episode of the Black-Liberation.Tech Podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Renee Jordan. Please feel free to like, subscribe, and share, rate, and review the podcast to help it become more discoverable. And until next time, take care. Bye-bye.